Shalom, Kol Yamla, Yahweh Shem Yahushai. What's good, Dwan Zedels with GMS, and honor to you, Akim. Peace and bless you, brothers and sisters that listen to Church of the Firstborn, the hopeful elect. Kol Yamla, Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Do this video today to the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. I remember, I think it was Elder Manatazak, South Carolina. It was answering one of these jakes who said something about the elders wearing a Nike t-shirt and said that was strange apparel. I had to do the video today to probably how Bashamel Shah going in what is strange apparel. Okay. And it's not, just wearing a Nike t-shirt, right? Or which apparel is, clothing or vesture. But spiritually, apparel is also your covering, man. That's what I like to go today to the power of Bashamel Shah, man. All right, and strange apparel is going into what? Idolatry, worshiping foreign gods and deities. That's what the Most High said. That's what he brought to destruction, going into that Zephaniah, the first chapter, which that's twofold, that chapter, because it's also going into the second coming of Yahushua, man. But back then, yes, all right, and Judah, the inhabitants of Judah did have strange apparel on, man, because matter of fact, let's get it. They were honoring idols. Okay, certain garments people wore reflected their spiritual practices. Okay, let's get that. Zephaniah, the first chapter. Okay, so strange apparel. Well, let's get it. Zephaniah chapter 1 verse 8. Right. First of all, we wear these clothings. Scripture said, "You shall go to your enemy for the want of all things," man. Right, we don't have our own factory, right? Even the material that our clothing is made out of is impure. But we have the right spiritual covering, spiritual garments, right? We follow it. Well, I'm going to get that in a minute. Okay, we in tune with Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. And out of Ratazah we make it. That means we were clothed in righteousness. Yahweh Shai is our clothing, man. All right? Let me get that. Paul said that in the book of Colossians. Also in the book of Romans, man. All right, let's get that. Zephaniah chapter 1 verse 8, though. And like I said, this entire chapter is twofold. It's fulfilled back then. And there's also, when you go into on down to verse verse 14, talk about the great day of Yahushua, man, is near. Right? But let's get that. Zephaniah chapter 1 verse 8. It says, "And it shall come to pass in the day of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua sacrifice," which I want to do another video on this to the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, because we're in the midst of this right now as well. Right? That's the reason why all you nations are going down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. Right? But so like I said, this chapter is also twofold. But back then it says that I will punish the princes and the king's children. Right? Back then was Josiah's children. Okay, and the inhabitants of Judah that were following the leaders. And all such that are clothed with strange apparel. Okay? See? Now people say, oh, see, that's talking about the garments of these foreign nations or of their style of clothing. That's not what that's really going into, man. Okay, before I read that, let me get Hosea chapter 12, verse 10. Let's get it. Hosea chapter 12, verse 10. It says, "I have also spoken by the prophets, O Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and I have multiplied visions and used similitudes by the ministry of the prophets." The Most High said, I use similitudes. I use parables. I use metaphors. I use dark sayings. Okay? Apparel is just not talking about your clothing. All right? It's talking about your spiritual practices, man. Okay? Before we came into this truth, we had strange apparel on. If you following Christianity, you following Islam, you trusting in America, you're alienated from Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. That's what he said, "Warn to the rebellious children" in Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1. Okay? He said, you're covered with a covering, but it's not of my spirit. And that you're adding sin into sin. And he said they even go down to Egypt for help. Okay? That's another covering, man. So let me just read Zephaniah chapter 1 verse 8. And the answer really is in verse 4. It says, And I also should have clothes with strange apparel. Verse 4. Let's jump up. And I will also stretch up mine hand upon Judah and upon all the inhabitants of Jerusalem. And I will cut off the remnant of Baal from this place. See, they were worshiping what? Baal, the chief Canaanite deity. All right. And the name of the Chemarims with the priests, which these are what? Idolatrous priests. You know, they come in the name of Yahweh back then, but they were secretly worshiping Baal, man. Just like you go into the book of Ezekiel, the 8th chapter. They were weeping for Tammuz. Verse 5, and them that worship the host of heaven upon the housetops, and them that worship and swear by Yahweh Shemal Shah, and that swear by Makam, which that's what? Molech. Okay? So yeah, they come in the name of the Most High, but they secretly worshiping Molech. They secretly worshiping Baal. So verse 8, the Most High said, listen, I'm going to get all of you that's clothed with strange apparel. You worshiping these foreign gods, man. That's what that's talking about, man. Right? It's a metaphor. The scripture deals with that, similitudes. Let me get that actually. 2 Kings 22nd, verse 10, which they did have certain garments that go hand in hand with worshiping certain foreign deities. All right. Just to prove that as well. But like I said, it's more than just your outward apparel. All right. I see IUIC use that a lot. Before, when I look at their videos, they use that on the woman. Oh, you have strange apparel on. That's not really what that's going into, man. Okay. So a lot of our people, they cover themselves in sin. That's also strange apparel. I'm gonna get Zechariah the high priest in a minute. That just came into my mind. Let's read this though. 2 Kings chapter 10 verse 22. And he said unto him that was over the vestry. Now let's get some proper context. Verse 20. And Jehu said, Become a solemn assembly for Baal, which he was the only northern kingdom king that partially did what Yahweh Shemal Shah said to do. Partially. Okay? Not even fully. See, and they proclaimed it. And Jehu sent forth through all Israel, and all the worshippers of Baal came. So there was not a man left that came not. And they came into the house of Baal, and the house of Baal was full from one end to another. And he said unto him that was over the vestry, the garments, Bring forth vestments for all the worshippers of Baal. And he brought forth vestments or garments. Okay. Verse 23. And Jehu went, and Jonadab, the son of Rechab, into the house of Baal, and said unto the worshippers of Baal. So he told them, Get the vestments, get the wardrobes, put it on. Now I know who all the worshippers of Baal are, man. Right? So like we said, spiritually, that also identified where their allegiance was with Baal. They were in the house of Baal. They were the worshippers of Baal. All right? And like we're going into Zephaniah, the 1st chapter, the inhabitants of Judah, they also had strange apparel on. They were worshiping Baal. Right? Their priest was coming in the name of the Lord, but they were secretly worshiping Molech. So Yahweh Shemal Shah said, listen, I'm going to get you guys, man. Right? And like I said, at Zephaniah, the 1st chapter, that's also twofold as well. Okay? Even when you read about Adam in the garden, we did videos on the garden already, where they tried to hide themselves with fig trees and aprons to hide their nakedness. Right? Which that's not actual figs and aprons. They weren't physically naked. Right? It means they sinned before Yahweh Shemal Shah. We did a video on that already. The trees in the garden. Okay? Tree of life represent this entire truth, immortality, right? The tree of knowledge of good and evil that's going into the nations, Ezekiel the 31st chapter, who envied the Adamites. So they try to cover with figs and aprons that's going into their certain spiritual beliefs, their wisdom, their knowledge. They tried to hide themselves in that until they heard the voice of the Lord, the prophets, man. Let's get that Job 31, right? Which even on a physical level, figs and aprons can't fully hide your nakedness, man. Okay, so these false beliefs, doctrines, back then, Jake worshiping Baal and Molech, that couldn't cover them. That couldn't save them. Okay, they still got destroyed, man. See, we covered ourselves with Yahweh Shemal Shah, this truth, and Adam Ratazah, we gonna be delivered, man, if we endure. But let's read Job 31. All right. Let's go into Job. This is what Job said. Job chapter 31, verse 33. He said, if I covered my transgressions as Adam by hiding my iniquity in my bosom. So he went into it. Okay. Those figs and aprons, that was Adam trying to hide his iniquity. Okay. Let's read it again. And if I covered my transgressions, tried to cover his sin, his nakedness as Adam, by hiding my iniquity in my bosom. And that's what Adam tried to do in the garden, man. Okay, until he heard the voice of Yahweh Shemel Shah. Okay, they tried to hide their iniquity by following these different doctrines. Okay, and they realized that they sinned, man. Okay, so let me read let's get Zechariah the 3rd chapter. And let me get the book of Ephesians after this. Okay, so, going into the power of Yahweh Shemel Shah, strange apparel, idolatry, spiritual adultery, that's strange apparel, man. Okay, these different religions, that's strange apparel to Yahweh Shemel Shah, man. That's not the right covering. Okay, that's not going to save you from the heat or the destruction to come. Or you jakes calling on Jesus and Allah, you're going to be destroyed, man. Or trusting in America. But let's read this though. Zechariah chapter 3 verse 1. And he showed me Joshua the high priest standing before the angel of Yahweh Shemel Shah, and Satan standing on his right hand to resist him. And Yahweh Shemel Shah said unto Satan, Yahweh Shemel Shah rebuke thee, O Satan. Even Yahweh Shemel Shah have chosen Jerusalem, rebuke thee. Is this not a brand plucked out of the fire? Now it's going to Joshua the high priest, man. Okay, which elders broke this down already, but it says verse 3, now Joshua was clothed with filthy garments and stood before the angel. All right, he was covered in iniquity. And who took away that filthy garments? The Lord did. And I'm going to read verse 8. And he answered and spake unto those that stood before him, saying, take away the filthy garments from him. And he said, behold, I cause thine iniquity to pass from thee, and I will clothe thee with change of raiment. And I said, let them set a fair mitre upon his head. For they set a fair mitre upon his head, and clothed him with garments. And the angel of Yahweh Shemel Shah stood by. So the Lord cleaned up the high priest Joshua and took away his filthy garments. So the apostles broke this down, who this is in the spirit. All right, verse 8. Hear now, O Joshua the high priest, thou and thy fellows that sit before thee, for they are men wondered at. For behold, I bring forth my servant the branch. This is who? Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, for behold, the stone that I have laid before thee, Joshua, upon one stone shall be 7 eyes. This is Yahweh Shai, the stone with the 7 eyes, the chief cornerstone, man. Okay, and also that rock of offense, also that stone that's going to destroy these nations. All right, behold, I have engraved the engraving thereof, save Yahweh Shemel Shah, and I will remove the iniquity of that land in 1 day. So who removed our iniquity? Who cleaned us up? Just like Joshua the high priest, Yahweh Shai, man, the stone with the 7 eyes, the branch. Now we're clothed with righteousness. We no longer have that foreign or strange apparel on. Right? Let me get that Ephesians, the 2nd chapter also. All right. So, this is what that's really going into. All right. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 18. Now we know these Gentiles are Israelite foreigners. We were Gentiles before we came into this. We were doing all manner of evil, man. We were foreign or alienated or enemies of the Lord, man. Unrecognizable until we heard the gospel, till we heard the truth. Now we made peace with our Maker through our King Yahweh Shai, man. See? It's deeper than like IUIC, just over the fringes. It's deeper than that, man. Your conversation, teaching the right thing, our day-to-day walk, how we treat each other. Now we're sons of the power, and of course exalting Yahweh Shai. Okay, because that's how we're going to make it. It's not through the works of the law, man. Even though we rehearsed the righteous acts, we just kept the Yawam Kippur. We're going to keep the Feast of Tabernacles to the best of our ability, man. All right. So that's what makes us, well, let's read it. Ephesians 2:18. And through him we both have access by, let's see, verse, of course it's Yahweh Shai, but let's read, verse 12, and I'm going to jump. That at time you were without the Mashiach. Let's read verse 11. Wherefore remember ye, being in times past Gentiles in the flesh, we were foreigners, strangers, okay, who are called uncircumcision, by which is called circumcision in the flesh made by hands, by the Jews who kept the law. Right? That at time you were without the Mashiach, being aliens from the commonwealth of the government of Israel, and strangers from the covenants of promise, having no hope, and without the Most High in the world. Okay? We had a different covering at that time. Let's read verse 18. For through him, Yahweh Shai, we both have access by one Spirit unto the Father, the mediator, the high priest. Now therefore ye are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints and of the household of the Most High. So we're no longer strangers, foreigners. We're no longer alienated from Yahweh Bashem Shai. Okay, we took off the mortal clothing, which is death, which is sin, iniquity. All right, and are built upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets, Yahweh Shai Mashiach himself being the chief cornerstone. Also the stone with the 7 eyes that took iniquity away from the land. All right, the Israelites, and also cleaned up Joshua the high priest and cleaned us up. Now we have the garments of righteousness on, man. All right, this is what that's going into. All right, so call him Yahweh Bashem Shah for the understanding, man. That's why it says, Isaiah 61:10. This won't be a long lesson. I just want to quickly going on that, man. Okay, because I see Israelites, women got pants. Oh, you strange apparel. It's deeper than that, man. Okay? Just went into that, man. Isaiah 61:10. I will greatly rejoice in Yahweh Bashem Shah. My soul shall be joyful in my power. For you have clothed me with the garments of salvation. Now we got those garments on. Adam Ratazah. We're saved, man. You come into this truth. You're putting on the garments of salvation. You have covered me with the robe of righteousness. And as a bridegroom decketh himself with ornaments, and as a bride adorneth herself with jewels. Okay, so we that bride that's being adorned and being made ready to join the bridegroom, Yahweh Shai. Okay, so we're being clothed with the garments of salvation and the robe of righteousness, rehearsing the righteous acts. See what I'm saying? To the best of our ability, man. Putting on the helmet of salvation, the shield of faith. Okay, we're different now. We're new creatures in the Mashiach. Now, let me read one more precept and then I'll close this out to the Pavi al-Bashim Shah. So, that's what that's going into. Okay, strange apparel is not, scripture ain't talking about, you wearing an Adidas or Nike. That's not. Let's get proper understanding, man. When you take on the customs and the philosophies and gods of these other nations, you putting on strange apparel, man. All right. Sure says, Baruch 5:1, put off, O Jerusalem, the garment of mourning. Because of why? Our captivity is coming to an end. So that state of mourning, Most High says to put that off in affliction and to put on the comeliness of the glory that cometh from the Most High forever. Which we got that, the comforter. All right. The understanding of the scriptures. That's the glory from Yahweh Bashem Shah. That's a treasure. That's a gift. Cast about thee double garments of righteousness, which cometh from the Most High. Say a diadem on thine head of glory of the everlasting. For the Most High will show thy brightness unto every country under heaven. Okay? So, the Most High told us to what? To put on a double garment of righteousness, which cometh from Yahweh Bashem Shah, man. That's what we're putting on, man. Garments of righteousness. Just read that the garment of salvation, the robe of righteousness, man. Okay, we're being adorned to meet Yahweh Shai in the chariots. That's the wedding chamber. All right, so Kolim La Yahweh Bashem Shai. I just wanted to do a quick lesson on that. And, hopefully this lesson was edifying. Like I say, Kolim La Yahweh Bashem Shai. Shalom.